Hello and welcome to another video. Long time no speak. I'm not sure when this video is going to go up, but I have a doctor's appointment today with my GP and I just thought I would film a little bit about it because, it's not a particularly important appointment in itself, but the last week has really been a lot of emails back and forth to different people trying to work out what I'm going to do with my SIBO testing. And depending on what happens in this appointment, that will inform my decision, I guess, of what I do next. I'm actually feeling really nervous, really anxious about it. I always get really anxious about face-to-face appointments with my GP, but I'm especially nervous this time because it's not with a GP that I know that well. I don't even think I've ever met her before. I'm also nervous for another reason. Well, I guess I'm not so much nervous as self-conscious because today is the first time that I'm going to wear my Cambridge mask to, anything. I only got it in the post the other day. It's similar to a VOG mask. It's basically a face mask, like a medical mask, but that protects you a lot more fully. As I've learned over the past couple of weeks, those medical masks, they're a bit hit and miss when it comes to protecting you from things. They're more designed to protect other people from your germs. So this is really the best option. It's military grade technology, so I think it should protect me in my local doctor's surgery. But as I said, I've never worn it out before, and it's a lot more conspicuous than a medical mask. At least I feel that way. It might not be how other people feel. Anyway, I'm going to try it on now and show you what it looks like. It comes in its own tin, which is really good, and then in its own Ziploc pouch. I just got a plain black one. They had loads of different patterns, but I'm not really that sort of person, so I just went for a plain one. Yeah, this is the right way up. I'm still kind of getting used to the fit. This filter here is to decrease the humidity, apparently, according to the leaflet. I don't know if you can see it very well. And then the filters that protect you from bacteria, from viruses, from pollution, pollen, that sort of thing, they're actually sewn into the mask itself. So it's not one that you can buy filters for and replace. You have to throw away the whole mask and then buy a new one when the filters run out, I guess is the right word. According to the booklet that came with it, this should last about 380 hours. So for me, that's going to last me ages because I don't actually need to use it that often. It's mainly just to protect myself against infections, that sort of thing, in hospital environments or something similar to that. The only thing that I'm not sure about is the actual fit. I got a medium and I'm thinking it might be a bit small for me. It does cover my nose and my chin, but it pulls my ears forward, which is quite uncomfortable and also makes me really self-conscious having my ears pulled out like that. When I talk, it moves quite a lot and I'm just a bit worried that it's a bit small. But I think a large would have been far too big. It's not really the sort of thing that you can send back, is it? So I think I'll just make the best of it. As I said, I don't need to use it that much. It's just for the doctor's appointments, hospital appointments, that sort of thing. Especially at the moment because it's flu season and I do not want to get flu. I definitely do not want to get flu. We all remember, you may not, but I do. When I got a minor viral infection earlier in the year, it took me 2 months to recover back to my pretty low baseline. And obviously the flu is not minor at all, so I really want to do everything in my power to make sure that I don't get it. And that includes wearing this, so that's what I'm gonna do. Oh, I don't think I've even said why I'm going to this doctor's appointment. I mentioned that it was to do with my SIBO testing. Basically, I'm gonna talk to my GP about the hypoglycaemic episodes I've been having, so the low blood sugar crashes, see if they're willing to do anything about it, maybe run some tests. I'm just nervous about, it's just a horrible feeling when you explain your really complicated health situation to a person who doesn't know anything about you, who doesn't really understand your illnesses in any great depth, and then you ask them for something really simple and they turn it down, and it's just really crushing. I've been through it a lot and you would think that you would get used to it, but you don't. It just gets worse and worse each time. Okay, I'm back now and I honestly think that was one of the most positive appointments I've ever had with a GP in my chronically ill career, for want of a better word. As I said, I'd never seen her before, but she was so nice. She listened to everything I had to say, and she came up with a really good plan, one that I feel like is very thorough and will hopefully get me some answers. Firstly, she gave me a blood sugar tester, and I have 5 tester strips with it. So the next 5 times that I feel the low blood sugar crash starting and I feel the symptoms, I prick my finger, test the blood sugar, make a note of it. Then when I've used up all the strips, I drop it back into my doctor's surgery, or my dad will. She will take a look at them and give me a call to talk about them. She's also ordered some blood tests, just some standard ones, to just make sure there's nothing funky going on. But it's looking like another endocrinology referral, which I'm not super thrilled about. Last time, although the doctor I saw was really nice, he just wasn't very helpful, and he just kept putting all my symptoms down to PCOS, polycystic ovary syndrome, which I don't have. But hey, if your blood sugar's doing weird stuff, clearly an endocrinologist is who you want to see. That appointment was about as positive as it could possibly have been. I only had to wait like 10 minutes. I mean, what even is that? I was expecting to have to wait so long, but I didn't, and it was kind of a miracle, I'm not gonna lie. Really though, the thing that struck me the most is that she really went the extra mile. I often talk about this to other people who are chronically ill and to my therapist about how in the current climate in the UK, they're so short-staffed because of budget cuts that no one has any time. There's no money, so no one has any funding to do extra tests, so no one goes the extra mile. And when you're chronically ill, you need somebody to go the extra mile for you. You need somebody in your corner to fight for you and to really make sure that you get the help that you need. And I really feel like the doctor I saw today did that. We were talking about a blood sugar monitor, and she said, oh, we can't give them out, but you can buy one. And I was like, oh, okay, thinking, oh, that's going to be kind of expensive and a bit annoying. And then she said, you know what, I'll just give you mine. And I was like, oh, are you sure? She was like, yeah, I'll just lend it out to you for a couple of weeks. She was like, you have to give it back to me. I was like, of course I will. Thank you so much. It was just such a nice gesture. She really didn't have to do that, and it's meant so much to me that she did. It was just really refreshing and really nice. You don't often have experiences like that when you're chronically ill. I am pretty exhausted now. Actually, no, I'm not too tired. I just have a really bad headache. So I'm gonna go and lie in a pretty dark room, and I'm gonna hope that the post-exertional malaise isn't too bad. We'll see. Wow. I really need to get a haircut, don't I? Okay, so it's actually quite a few days later now. It's actually been a couple of weeks since my doctor's appointment. I haven't filmed anything because basically it's been quite stressful. I thought the most stressful part was going to be the doctor's appointment, but actually no. As I explained in the last clip I filmed, that was the easiest part, and the incredibly hard and stressful part has actually been getting the readings. In the last clip I filmed, I said I had 5 tester strips. I actually muddled my words, and what I meant to say was that I had 5 lancets that you use to prick your finger to get the blood, to put on the tester strip, to put in the blood glucose monitor to get the reading. I had plenty of tester strips, or so I thought. The first time I felt the symptoms, I went to use the lancets. I thought it would be self-explanatory for how to use them, but it wasn't. So I ended up breaking 3 of the 5 lancets the first time I tried to get a reading. After breaking the 3rd one, I kind of bailed out. I thought, I can't do this right now. I just need to eat. You know, the symptoms are getting more and more severe. If anyone has had low blood sugar, I mean, it's so hard to think clearly when you're feeling like that. And on top of that, you know, I have brain fog as a symptom anyway. So the 2 together just made it a bit impossible. So I thought, all right, it's fine. I'll just do it next time I feel the symptoms. In the meantime, I Googled how to work the lancets, found out that you actually have to twist the cap off instead of pull. As I said, I had broken 3 of the 5 that she had given me, so I had to buy some more. They weren't very expensive, so it was fine, but I did have to buy a pack of 50, so I mean, I have plenty now. The next time I felt the symptoms, I used the lancets correctly, but I couldn't get any blood flow or not enough blood to put on the tester strip to get a reading. I would be squeezing more blood out, but it was coming out so slowly that by the time I went to put it on the tester strip was being read as used because it already had some on from when I had initially pricked my finger. I went through a lot of tester strips trying to get enough blood flow. I spoke to a friend who's a pharmacy assistant, and she said, oh, you have to really squeeze the base of your finger really hard, and also run your hands under hot water because that improves circulation. So that was really helpful. I think the reason I had so many problems with this is because I have POTS, as I've mentioned, hand, and that causes both low blood volume and really bad circulation. So the two of those things together just meant it's really hard to get blood out of my fingertip. And on top of that, I was trying to do it early in the morning when I'm at my most dehydrated, because obviously I haven't drunk throughout the night. So I think that's the reason for that. At this point, I have to say I was so stressed and so frustrated. I'd almost run out of test strips, and I was supposed to be giving the doctor's blood glucose monitor back to her. I didn't know at this point how long it was going to take me to get the readings, and I couldn't keep it for an indefinite amount of time. So I ended up having to buy my own glucose monitor, and I also had to buy more tester strips. The fact I had to do that was really frustrating in and of itself. The really nice gesture of this doctor in lending me her machine so I didn't have to spend money on my own was a big deal for me. I mean, it doesn't discount what she did. You know, it's thought that counts in those situations, but it was really frustrating for me. And also I felt like such an idiot. This is like one of the simplest things in the world, and I couldn't do it. You know, first the lancets, then the blood flow. It was just a complete nightmare. So I finally had all my ducks in a row. You know, I had the lancets that I knew how to work, I had the tester strips, I had my own glucose monitor, and I felt the symptoms, and I was like, right, let's go, let's do this. And I did. I finally managed to get an actual reading on record, all real. I was very, very happy. However, it wasn't what I was expecting. My blood sugar was actually higher than it should be instead of lower. What does that mean? I have no idea. Literally none. I was pretty confused by that, but I wasn't frustrated or stressed by it. I thought, okay, at least I've got one reading now. I know how to do it, so all I have to do is just wait until I feel like that again and you know, get the 5 readings that we planned. But that was quite a while ago, and unfortunately I haven't felt the symptoms since. They do come in waves. I will get a period of maybe a week or so, or 2 weeks, where they happen all the time, and then a week or 2 where they don't happen at all. So I know that I just have to wait for it to happen. But it's just so frustrating that I finally know how to work everything, I have enough of everything, and it's just not happening. A little part of me is quite worried that the doctor's gonna think, oh, it can't be that serious because she hasn't made an appointment, she hasn't called with the results. And I don't necessarily think she's going to think that I'm making it up, but that's definitely a thought in my mind. So I'm going to leave this video here because I don't know how long it's going to take me to get the number of readings I need. I have got a couple more things to add though. The first is that earlier this week I sent off my mold testing kit. It was a urine test. I have to say, it was the most expensive pee I ever had. Yeah, quite an expensive test, but I'm hoping it's going to be worth it. The second thing I have to tell you is, I know I mentioned at the beginning of this video, what feels like a really, really long time ago now, that the doctor's appointment was going to inform my decision on what I did in regards to my SIBO testing. The plan with that has changed slightly because my doctor agreed to let me do the test at home with a kit. Yeah, it's basically the same test I would be doing at the hospital where my Lyme doctor works, but I can do it in my own home, which significantly reduces the anxiety surrounding it in terms of, well, I mean, everything, you know, the post-exertional malaise I would experience from it, the side effects of drinking the lactulose, the fasting element of it. It just makes everything a lot easier for me. So I am so happy that I can do it at home. I think I'm going to do the SIBO test at the end of next week. That's going to be my next video. Again, I don't know when it's going to go up, but hopefully quicker than this one has. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you very soon with my SIBO test. Bye.